you're frequently using Excel, it might be very helpful if you know some key shortcuts. This is a brief overview of some of the most frequently used Excel shortcuts. So first of all, we have the Enter shortcut. If you press Enter in a certain cell, it will execute the formula in that cell, or it will move one cell down. The Escape key is used for escaping a formula in a cell. So for example, if you're accidentally editing a formula in a cell and you want to cancel those changes or you want to undo those changes, you can press Escape. The arrow keys are used for moving up or down in Excel. So if you want to move one cell up, one cell down, left or right, you can press the corresponding arrow keys. You can also use the Tab key to move one cell to the right. If you press the Control and arrow key, you will move to the last non-empty cell within a certain range. For example, if you press the Control key and the left arrow key, you will move to the last non-empty cell on the left. If you press the Control key and the right arrow key, you will move to the last non-empty cell on the right. If you press the Control key and the down arrow key, you will move to the last non-empty cell at the bottom. If you press the Control key and the Home key, you will move to the first cell of your sheet, so that will be the cell at the upper left corner. If you press the Control key and the End key, you will move to the last non-empty cell at the bottom right corner. If you select a cell reference and press the F4 key, you can change the cell reference from absolute to relative, or you can change it the other way around from relative to absolute. If you press Shift and F11, you will create a new worksheet within your workbook. If you press Ctrl, Shift and the equal to sign, you can insert a new cell, a new column or a new row. I now go back to Excel. Suppose I want to use the Enter key to move to the next cell. I step into a cell, press the Enter key, and as you can see, I move to the next cell below. Suppose I want to enter a formula. For example, cell G3 is equal to cell C3 plus, and I now press Enter. My formula is not complete yet, so I will get an error message. Suppose I want to cancel my formula, I just press Escape and I cancel my formula. I can use the arrow keys to navigate to another cell. I can also press the Tab key to move to the right. If I press Ctrl down, I move to the last non-empty cell within my column. If I press Ctrl left, I move to the last empty cell within my row. If I press Ctrl up, I move to the first non-empty cell within my column. And if I press Ctrl left, I move to the first non-empty cell within my row. If I press Ctrl Home, I move to the first cell within my sheet. If I press Ctrl End, then I move to the last non-empty cell at the bottom right corner of my sheet. If I want to enter an absolute cell reference, I just enter my normal cell reference. I step into my cell reference, press F4, and as you see, there are now dollar signs added to my cell reference. So my cell reference has become absolute. If I now press the F4 key again, the cell reference is relative. If I press Shift and F11, then I create a new sheet, which is added to the left of my current sheet. If I press Ctrl, Shift and equal to, then I can insert a cell by either shifting the current cells down, shifting them right, inserting an entire row, or inserting an entire column. Some other frequently used shortcuts in Excel are, of course, Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V if you want to copy-paste certain cells, or Ctrl-X if you want to cut a certain cell. If you want to look up a certain value, you can use Ctrl-F to find or replace a certain value.